To the Circuit de Catalunya at the end of the final day of the second Formula One pre-season test. It was a day of rain, hail and wind here in Barcelona, and that all hampered running and also caused a few spins out in the circuit. But at the end of the action, and for the second time this week, it was a Mercedes driver at the top of the timesheet. That was Lewis Hamilton, who was first onto the medium tyre during a mid-morning dry window. He'd end up more than 0.3 of a second quicker than his old teammate Jenson Button, while Jean-Eric Vergne, Esteban Gutierrez, Guido van der Garde and Felipe Massa all visited the gravel. Valtteri Bottas and Pastor Maldonado failed to set a time as Williams focused on pit stop drills.
The goal for us was today to make plenty of pit stop practicing and some runs after that. So we managed to do all the pit stop practices, but unfortunately the weather this morning wasn't great. It was just between inters and slicks, so we really didn't manage to test much. But positive thing, as like I said, we managed to do a lot of pit stops and good practice for me as well as for the team.
You've talked about the strong points of the car, the rear end grip, that kind of thing. What areas are you still hoping to work on in the final week of testing?
Well, there's some balance things in the car what we can still improve. Especially with a little bit less fuel than the high fuel, we can still improve the car quite a bit, and we are aware of the problems we have. They're all fixable, so it's looking good.
And leaving here, who do you see as your rivals at the moment? Where do you think you stand? I know it's difficult to judge the pecking order.
Difficult to judge, yeah, but for sure Red Bull and McLaren and Lotus are strong, that's for sure. But maybe in the next test we'll see a little bit more, but finally in qualifying off Melbourne.
So you're looking to rival the top team straight away?
Yeah, we're trying. That's our aim, to get higher.
Today we had in the program a full pit stop day, so it was quite okay to get used to the new tools we got, even for the mechanics, you know, to get used again after the break. And yeah, we are quite happy with the 4 days. Actually, good car, very consistent in terms of reliabilities, no problems, no issues this week. So really looking forward for the next week. We will have some more information about the car, so more confident, and it's looking quite good.
Did we really learn much about the pecking order this week? Is it still the phony war? Will we see the proper cars maybe towards the end of next week?
Yeah, we never know in Formula One, you know. For sure, every day changing, you know, every day changing. We are working on our car. We need to analyze well all the data we got. We have very good data to compare, especially with the last year car. So we have some new bits for the car as well, so we need to analyze very well what to do for the race.
You're always a confident man, but coming back here, the scene of your victory, your first victory, as that puts a lot of positive thoughts in your mind again?
Yeah, for sure. It's always great, you know, to have a great remember of this track, especially with the last year car, which was actually quite a good car, and to see the improvement, which is very clear in this car. So very happy to be here, very happy to test the new car, very happy to have 4 good days. So looking forward.
Just very finally, Valtteri says you're close to the top teams. After coming away from here, do you sense you are?
It's very difficult to say. It's quite early, you know, but we are on the good way. We are working very hard, and we will do our best to be there.
The downforce factor is what everyone's pushing massively hard for, because the teams obviously run and completed races and even won a race last year, so they clearly have a not such a bad foundation in terms of the mechanical side of the car. And in terms of downforce, that's where we need to improve.
In terms of a good result, I know you're not talking about wins, but would wet, dry conditions, a bit like we've had today, offer you, a good chance maybe of a podium?
Who knows? I mean, these are when it rains, it definitely makes it more of a lottery. But we're working towards being quick in the dry. We want to be quick in the dry. We don't want to have these days gifted to us where some people fall off and we happen to overtake them through luck. We want to do it through hard work, and that's what the guys are working for.
Would you say what you got through almost all of your program this week?
Almost, yeah. I mean, today it's been a little bit tough because of the weather. sucks a little bit that I couldn't get. We wanted to get another 110, 120 laps in today, but unfortunately that's not really the case. But still, we've definitely gone through a few of the things that we wanted to, and next week's really, I guess, the most challenging, getting the new parts to the track, making sure and hoping that they have the effect that we hope they do.
It's always nice, to start a new season, to, the feeling, the think about it, the new season. Everybody starts with 0 points, so it's a different car as well. So I think, it's always nice. You're always confident, you're always happy and everything. So I hope this season can be better for us, can be more competitive, can be better for me as well. So I didn't have a great season, especially the first part of the season. Quite a good second part. So I think it's also another direction that you're trying to make a complete season in the good direction from the beginning to the end. So it's always a nice feeling. So I hope we can start in a good level and finish maybe even better.
Maybe difficult to judge in these conditions, Felipe, but what's changed on the car from Jerez, and where would you like to see progress in the second Barcelona test?
From Jerez, nothing. So the car is exactly the same as Jerez. So we didn't change anything. Really, basically new pieces and everything. So the car is exactly the same as we had in Jerez. As we finish Jerez, for sure, we understood maybe little details around the car that maybe we change it again for here, and but it's like evolution, but not with the new pieces and everything. So anyway, now is really the important time that maybe we can bring new pieces to the car. Maybe the car is still green, so we need to make the car in the good shape for the first race. Is a lot to work, is a lot to do. And maybe is a very important moment as well for the people which is working on the aerodynamic, on the engine, on the chassis and everything, to prepare everything together in the good direction, for the first race.
Yeah, it was cold. I can't remember quite having a full day this cold. Normally in the morning it's pretty fresh, but it was a very, very cold day of testing. But actually reasonably consistent. The conditions were pretty stable, although probably not very representative at all what you'd ever have at a Grand Prix weekend. Maybe at Nürburgring on a Saturday morning, let's say. But in general, it was, unusual conditions in terms of temperature, but I was so happy with what we got done today. We got a lot of good stuff done. Mechanics are incredible, just lots of good stuff. The team's on fire, but the boys today did a very, very, very good job. It's the best I've seen them work for a long time, so it was a very, very good day for us.
Leads me on to what I was going to ask you, which was if Jerez was all about sort of sorting out the new car, what's this test been primarily about learning?
For us, we did a lot of housekeeping today, whether it was pit stops, whether it was a bit of just checking lots of things which are important on race weekends and as a team, and that went very well for us.
Okay, so what do you still need to learn, and what will you be doing in Barcelona 2 next week?
Next week we will have to, for sure, ongoing investigation into the tyres, learning more about those. Also checking how they are still performing in different temperatures. Day 2 was probably the best test day in terms of temperatures. We know that the sun was out and the track saw some decent temperatures, so that will be right on the top of our list. And then, some more performance stuff which you constantly need to keep putting on the car to stay towards the front.
And last one from me. Last year the car wasn't really able to maybe show its best in your home race in Melbourne. You feel you go there this year with a sort of better chance to get one of your best results there?
You're putting words in my mouth, but I think that
That's a question.
I think Melbourne is a very, unfortunately, if you're quick in Melbourne, you're not quick everywhere. You want to design a car for majority of other tracks that do make up most of the championship to be competitive at and be strong at. For sure, we want to be strong at Melbourne. We want to start the season very, very well. And I would absolutely love to win my home race. And we're in a good position to go and challenge for strong results in Melbourne, which you'd expect from a team with the results we've had over the last few years. So, Melbourne can be a bit of a one-off circuit in terms of balance and what it requires, but we're more than capable of going there and doing well.
Yeah, well, it's great to chat to Roman Grosjean all the time, but it's going to be our last interview of the day today. So, Roman, I mean, the conditions, what did that mean you could achieve out there?
Winter testing, I think that's what we're gonna call today. Was cold, it was wet and dry, and we had a lot of aero stuff to do on the car, so we missed the window to have a proper lap on the dry. This is why we're very far on the leaderboard, but never mind. I think we achieved what we wanted to, even though the conditions were not great, and we could see the car on the wet as well, which is good, as last year we were struggling a little bit. So trying to understand that, solve the issues we had, and from there baseline is good.
Are all the big changes for a lot of the leading teams, yourselves included, going to be at the next Barcelona test?
Yeah, there will be some updates. I think it's the last one before going to Melbourne, so we need to make sure everything is in order. But then, the team is still working very hard, so it may have some more coming in straight in Melbourne.
We see a lot of the teams doing pit stop practice, and it makes me think about how important strategy will be next season. Have those strategists in your teams having headaches at the moment about the tyres and how everything's going to pan out?
I think some guys will lose hours trying to understand what we can do best. We have seen there's massive degradation on the tyres, but it's going to be interesting. We will have to think about it to see what is the best and try to get 100% of the situation.
But you come out of here, your overview finally is you're up there. I mean, the boss says you're amongst the leading teams. You feel that too?
Yeah, I think we are looking good and strong, but you never know until you go to a first race. But anyhow, I think we can be happy with our winter testing.
Okay, great stuff. Have a good final test and good luck in Melbourne. Yeah. Great guy, Roman, there. He's heading off to get into the warm. It has been a cold end to this second pre-season test, and the teams now only have 28 hours of running left before they board that plane for Melbourne. But join us again for that final test. We'll have all the best of the reaction right here next Thursday on Sky Sports F1 HD.